Alright, hello folks. I hope you had a good break and I hope you're ready to get back into organic chemistry. So welcome to Chem 211 Organic Chemistry 2 Lecture and Laboratory. I'll be your instructor for this semester. My name is Tong Nguyen. You can call me Tong, Mr. Nguyen, Professor Nguyen, or even teacher if you'd like. I graduated from Saddleback High School in 2001 and then I attended UCI where I got my BS in chemistry in 2005. After that, I went down to San Diego to pursue my doctorate in organic chemistry. I was at UCSD from 2005 to 2009. I completed my thesis in 2009 and continued at UCSD as a postdoctoral researcher until 2010. After that, I went into biotech as a medicinal chemist for a good 3 years until I switched on over to teaching. I joined Miracosta College in 2014 as an associate professor, and then I was hired as a full-timer 2 years later in 2016. The best way to reach me is by email at tngwin@miracosta.edu. You can also find me at my office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9:30 to 10:15 a.m. in the Oceanside Student Center Q Room, and also on Wednesdays from 3:30 to 4:30 in my office in SAN 405. All contents for this class can be found on Canvas, so make sure you check periodically for announcements and content as well as grades. Chem 150 is a prerequisite for this class. It's advised that you're currently taking 151 or have already completed Chem 151. This class is susceptible for credit as CSU and UCs. This course continues the 1-year organic chemistry sequence begun in Chem 210. Topics covered include the structure and reactivity of alcohols, aldehydes and ketones, organometallic compounds, carboxylic acids and derivatives, amines and other nitrogen functional groups, aromatic compounds, sulfur and phosphorus and silicon-containing compounds, heterocyclic compounds, and di- and polyfunctional compounds, conjugation aromaticity, multi-step organic synthesis, and biological chemistry. The course emphasizes the application of organic chemistry reaction mechanisms already learned in Chem 210 to other functional groups. It examines new reactions specific for different functional groups including alcohols, thiols, aldehydes, and ketones, carboxylic acid derivatives, aryl halides, and biochemistry-related organic chemistry molecules. Alright, what are some of the required items for this class? You need the Organic Chemistry Klein textbook, 2nd edition. You choose not to buy that. We have some at the library on reserve, and you can also rent some copies online if you'd wish. You also need the lab textbook by Padilla's 3rd edition, Making Connections. Safety goggles are also required. Make sure they're not glasses. Lab coats are also highly encouraged. We give out free gloves for you to wear during your lab sessions, so make sure you have gloves on when you're handling chemicals. A flash drive, a special homework notebook for organic chemistry, mechanical pencils and erasers are also highly recommended. You also need to get a notebook especially designed and titled Chem 211 Lab. All your experiments are documented in this lab notebook. You may also use the lab notebook for your practical and lab finals as well as lab quizzes. So take the time to fully document all your work in lab. What are the student learning outcomes for this class? There are 2. First, after completing Chem 211, students will be proficient in concepts and problem-solving techniques common to any 2-semester organic chemistry as demonstrated by the performance on the standardized American Chemical Society national exam. And second, after completing Chem 211, students will be proficient in laboratory techniques common to any 2nd semester organic chemistry course as demonstrated by successfully completing a multi-step synthesis. There are some important deadlines that you should be aware of. The add drop deadline is on Sunday, February 3rd, 2019. The last day to withdraw from the class is April 25th, 2019. After the April 25th date, I have to give you a letter grade. Spring break is from March 18th through the 23rd, and commencement is on May 24th. Responsibilities and conduct. As in any class, please respect your peers, instruct in the classroom. Cell phones are set to either vibrate or silent mode. Limit your excessive conversations with a neighbor. Please do not eat or drink a beverage in class. Cheating during an exam is highly discouraged. If you're found to be cheating on an exam or helping someone else cheat, a score of 0 will be automatically given for the exam. The instructor reserves the right to report the incident to the school dean and the disciplinary officer. If this policy is unclear, please see me for clarifications. Please also be mindful that although you see your classmates 2 or more times a week, you may not know the intricate details of their lives. I've had students going through extensive surgeries, chemotherapy, or helping a parent or grandparent going through tough situations. And if these students are making an effort to come into class to get their education, please respect their decision so that we can all create an inclusive learning environment for everybody. Exam policies: there are 3 exams, 1 lecture quiz. This quiz will be at the second week of class, 1 practical. Please refer to the tentative schedule for practical dates, 1 lab final, and 1 lecture ACS final. No makeup exams are available. The final exam must be taken. Failure to do so will result in an automatic F for the course. Please refer to the tentative schedule for exam dates and lecture content dates. Now, the lab notebook will be a little bit different from the notebooks that you've been exposed to in your previous general and organic chemistry courses. So before coming into lab to perform an experiment, make sure you take some time to watch the lecture video that will be posted on Canvas. So you're also asked to read the experiment before the start of the lab to make sure that you know what safety concerns needs to be observed. This semester will expose students to current methods of keeping a proper lab notebook, often practiced in academia and biotech industries. The guideline for this practice will be addressed in a special dedicated lab day. At the end of each lab day, students must seek out the instructor to have him or her witness the notebook, at which point an evaluative grade will be given by the instructor. So in lieu of your lab reports, since we still want to emphasize the importance of language skills in the lab setting, students will be assigned 4 written assignments in the form of the American Chemical Society journal articles. The guideline for these written assignments will be addressed throughout the semester. Essentially, for 4 of your lab experiments, in addition to keeping your lab notebook, you will be tasked with converting your work into a journal article to highlight what you've done for that experiment. Dress code for the lab include long sleeve shirt and pants, since they offer the best protection in the laboratory. Shorts and short skirts will not adequately protect your legs, so make sure you're covered from head to toe. Loose fitting clothing and long hair may create a potential fire hazard when burners are in use, so make sure you tie up your long hair. Sandals and open-toed shoes should not be worn in the laboratory. You will be asked to leave the lab and you may re-enter when you have the proper attire on. Clothing such as ties or long jewelry which could dangle in chemicals or flames should be removed or tied back. Please avoid wearing rings, bracelets, or watches. Hairspray and mousse are highly flammable and should not be used in the lab class. Synthetic fingernails are highly flammable and should not be worn in the lab class as well. A lot of your organic solvents will also dissolve these fingernail polish and fingernails. You have homework that are assigned for this class. Remember that practice makes progress. If you haven't already, get in the habit of reading the textbook. It is your primary reference. Read one section of the text, do the prompts relevant to the content in the back of the chapter, and then check your work against the key. The solution manual is available on reserve if you choose to borrow it. For missed problems, go back and reread the section and try again. Suggested homework prompts from the book will be posted on Canvas. In addition to that, assigned homework will be available on Canvas and are due 1 week after the completion of the chapter lecture. Make sure you turn it in before you leave lab, because it will be due at the end of the lab period. Quiz 1 is worth 50 points. Exams 1, 2, and 3 are worth 125 points each. Lab practical is worth 50, lab final is 50, and your final exam is worth 250 points. For all your lecture days, except those falling on exam days, you have pre-lecture quizzes that will be due 30 minutes before lecture starts. And these are worth 3 points each. Assigned homework are also worth 3 points each. The activities in lecture are also worth 3 points each. For your lab notebook, experiments 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9 are worth 3 points each for the days that you're conducting the experiments. Experiments 2, 4, 6, and 8 are written in the ACS style articles and they are worth 15 points each. You have a presentation that's worth 30 points. The class is straight scaled, it is not curved. That means you are not competing against other students. You are simply competing against yourself. Anything below 58% is an F. 58 to 67.9 is a D. 68 to 77.9 is a C. 78 to 87.9 is a B. 88 to 100 is an A. The letter grade scale may be lowered but will not be raised. What are some of the services available here at MiraCosta? The STEM Center offers drop-in tutoring as well as one-on-one tutoring with a peer student. The STEM Center also has career counseling, textbooks, as well as some course materials and laptops that you can check out. Course reserves are also available in the library. You want to check out a book for several hours. Students with disabilities who may need academic accommodation should discuss options with their professor immediately. The DSPS office can be reached at this number. College can be stressful at times. Do you need any help? Please go seek assistance from your instructor, a counselor, or even your lab partners. Make sure you reach out and ask for help. If you're dealing with a special circumstance in your life, make sure you voice that out to us or your friends so that we become aware of the situation. The food pantry provides food assistance to MiraCosta students. So if you, for example, forget your money at home, you can just go into the pantry and tell them that you just need a lunch or a light snack. This can be found in the Service Learning Center at Oceanside, and in San Elijo, it's in the Student Center. LGBTQIA resources. MiraCosta College has an express commitment to equity and inclusion for students, faculty, and staff members who identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning, intersex, and asexual. For more information, visit this webpage. If a conflict should arise during the semester, please talk to me as soon as possible. We cannot find a solution, we'll seek the advice from the department chair and then the dean. In the event that we cannot handle the situation, come with a solution, we will contact the vice president of instruction, at which point she will resolve the problem. MiraCosta College is committed to sustainability on campus and in our classrooms. To minimize the use of paper resources, please reconsider printing everything that is posted on Canvas. You're welcome to bring your own computer to class as long as you're using it for your learning purposes. This privilege will not be taken away. When a document must be printed, please decrease the default setting on your margins to at least 0.8 inch and print on both sides of the paper. During lab classes, we will do our best to minimize chemical waste generated as a class. I hope you are ready to take on organic chemistry too, and I will do my best to facilitate an environment that's conducive to your learning. I'll see you soon.